Hello and welcome to your weekly dispatch, where we'll give you a rundown of news stories of national, regional, and international significance. Here's what stood out for us this week. India has landed in hot waters with Canada after links to the murder of a Canadian citizen were established by Canadian intel reports, shared in Parliament by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Armenia and Azerbaijan have entered a state of war over the disputed Nagorno-Karabakh region, setting the stage for greater international tensions as regional powers and their alliances and interests in the region are tested. As tensions brew around the world, the US and Saudi Arabia seem to be on the cusp of a defense alliance, according to a New York Times report. And for our feature story, we're looking at the rising cost of living in Pakistan as fuel prices continue to rise amidst acute economic fallout on citizens already struggling to make ends meet. Keep watching for a deeper look at these stories. Tensions between India and Canada have intensified following a statement by Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau citing credible allegations linking Indian government agents to the murder of a Sikh separatist leader in Canada. But what is the Sikh separatist movement and how is it linked to the current diplomatic tussle between New Delhi and Ottawa? The Sikh separatist movement seeks to create an independent Sikh homeland called Khalistan in the Indian Punjab, with historical roots in a violent insurgency during the 1970s and 1980s. A pivotal moment in this conflict was in 1984, when then Prime Minister Indira Gandhi ordered the military to enter the Golden Temple, the holiest Sikh shrine, to remove armed separatist leader Sant Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale. This action led to global Sikh outrage. Gandhi's subsequent assassination by Sikh bodyguards triggered riots and a brutal pogrom against Sikhs across India. Recently, Khalistan demands have resurfaced, with Sikh separatist leader Amritpal Singh leading the campaign. He has since been arrested, but India has also expressed its displeasure with the frequent demonstrations by Sikh separatists and their supporters outside Indian diplomatic missions in countries like Canada, Britain, the US, and Australia. The Sikh diaspora in Canada is quite significant. According to a 2021 census, Sikhs constitute 2.1% of the country's population. All that considered, the Indian government has landed itself in hot waters by pursuing their policy of silencing and subjugating Sikh voices on foreign soil. That too, the soil of an ally, an important trade partner, and NATO member state. Considering the NATO alliance's collective security model, it would not be far-fetched to assume negative reinforcement from NATO members might be underway for India. Azerbaijan has initiated a military operation in the Armenian-controlled Nagorno-Karabakh region, with the intention of continuing until Armenian forces surrender. Nagorno-Karabakh, officially recognized as Azerbaijani territory, is partially governed by separatist Armenian authorities who claim it as their ancestral homeland, with a population of approximately 120,000. Ethnic Armenian forces, supported by Armenia's military, gained control of Nagorno-Karabakh and its surrounding areas in 1994, after a war with Azerbaijan. However, in 2020, Azerbaijan, during a 44-day conflict, regained approximately one-third of Nagorno-Karabakh. Since late 2020, 3,000 Russian peacekeepers have maintained a fragile truce in the area. But Russia's attention has been diverted by its war with Ukraine. Ongoing military operations raise concerns about a worsening humanitarian crisis, as reports suggest the need for evacuations and mounting casualties in the affected area. Besides the humanitarian issues, the conflict sparks international concern due to the involvement of regional powers such as Russia, Turkey, and Iran, with varying degrees of investment in the region. Turkey has expressed unwavering support for Azerbaijan, while Russia has a security alliance with Armenia, despite supplying weapons to both sides. The European Union, while advocating for dialogue and cessation of hostilities, increasingly relies on Azerbaijan as an energy partner to compensate for reduced Russian gas and oil imports since the onset of the Russia-Ukraine conflict. In a recent report from the New York Times, it's been revealed that the United States is engaged in discussions with Saudi Arabia regarding the possibility of entering into a mutual defense treaty. This treaty would mirror the military agreements the US has with nations like Japan and South Korea. Under this proposed pact, both the United States and Saudi Arabia would commit to providing military support in the event of an attack within the region or on Saudi Arabian territory. This development holds significant importance as part of President Biden's diplomatic efforts to encourage Saudi Arabia to normalize its relations with Israel. According to some reports, the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman views the mutual defense agreement with the United States as a key aspect of his discussions with the Biden administration concerning Israel. Moreover, he's seeking the Biden administration's assistance in establishing a civilian nuclear program in his country. Proponents of such a diplomatic pact argue that it would serve as a symbolic gesture in easing tensions between Arab nations and Israel, potentially carrying geopolitical implications for the United States. On the other hand, critics contend that any normalization that doesn't address the Palestinian issue in accordance with United Nations Security Council resolutions calling for a two-state solution may not gain popular support and could ultimately prove unsuccessful. Moreover, entering into such an agreement raises questions about whether President Biden's administration is becoming more militarily engaged in the Middle East. And now for our feature story. Last week, the caretaker government of Pakistan made a substantial increase in the prices of petrol and high-speed diesel, raising them by 26.2 rupees per litre and 17.34 rupees per litre, respectively. This marked the third petrol price hike in just a month, totaling an alarming 58.4 rupees per litre increase. The series of increases began on August 16th with a 17.5 rupee per litre jump, followed by another on September 1st, adding 14.91 and culminating in the latest hike of rupees 26.02 on September 16th. The primary driver behind these relentless price hikes is supply cuts from major oil-producing nations like Russia and Saudi Arabia, pushing oil prices to new heights and contributing to this abrupt spike in fuel costs in Pakistan. The impact of rising global commodity prices is felt even more acutely in Pakistan due to its heavy reliance on imports. This makes the country particularly vulnerable to the shocks of global price fluctuations. The recent Pakistan-IMF deal did not make things easier for Pakistan either. In late June, Pakistan secured a much-needed $3 billion short-term financial package from the International Monetary Fund. While this helped the country avoid default, it came with stringent conditions and fiscal reforms. One of the measures included an increase in petroleum levy. These reforms also entailed painful steps, such as increasing energy prices and adopting a market-based exchange rate, which had already fueled inflation. Such as increasing energy prices and adopting a market-based exchange rate which had already fueled inflation. The combined effect of these developments, coupled with the depreciation of the national currency, has resulted in severe inflation. Inflation rates have surged to alarming levels, reaching 27.4% last month. As a result, the cost of living in Pakistan has skyrocketed, leaving citizens grappling with impossible choices in their daily lives. I'm Hajra Asaf Khan, and this was your Weekly Dispatch.